Hello and welcome to Simuldub Saints, your guide to seasonal anime dubs. I'm your host, Lizkin, and with me as always is my trusty co-host.
Hello, I am Archangel, lover of cat girls.
You've been listening to our theme song, Wherever I Go, from friend of the podcast, Ampren. Please check out their awesome music, link in the description.
And this episode of the Simuldub Saints has been graciously sponsored by Cyberdyne Systems. More on them at the end.
Ooh, I think they built my computer.
Yeah, I mean, mine's a NVIDIA, but, same industry.
Same kind of thing, you know. But welcome back, everybody. We got some quick news bits, and then we're going to hop right on in to the surprise hit for us of the season, Windbreaker. Before that, we have some news. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Hashira Training Arc, say that 3 times fast, begins on May 12th, day and date as we record this. Dub is TBA. They have announced there is a dub. This is Aniplex, so as much as I'd like to say it could be in 2 weeks, this could also be 2 months in. It really just kind of depends on their pipeline, and I could see it going either way. But the dub is coming. Speaking of things that are coming eventually, ReZero Season 3. I thought it was going to be this season. Ha 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 ha. I don't know where I got that from. My brain had it somewhere. But no, it's not coming till October. But it is coming in October. So we got a couple seasons. We got a season between now and then. But hey, ReZero fans, and I know JMac is one of them. And I don't think we'll be able to stop him from coming on talking about that when that happens. But ReZero's coming. And last bit of news. The Mushoku Tensei sub is going to take a week off this week. So instead of having an episode on May 19th, it'll be taking a bye week, and it will be returning the following week, May 26th. Now, this doesn't say it, but I'd expect a dub delay to go with it. They like to keep their dubs 2 weeks behind, so I imagine that we won't have a new dub this week for Mushoku Tensei. Sad face, but these things happen.
I just want to mention, because it is May 12th, Happy Mother's Day to anyone listening to whom that is applicable. And also apologies to my own mother, so I don't watch the news. I'm pretty cut off from all data streams except very specific and focused ones. So I didn't actually know it was Mother's Day until LK mentioned it. So I'm like, oh shit, I better call my mom. I didn't realize my mother and father are in Germany. So I woke my mother up earlier today. So happy Mother's Day, Mom, and my apologies.
All right, then.
Okay, so on to the topic du jour.
Indeed. We've said it before, and I'll say it again. This show surprised us big time, in a good way. This is like the opposite of Monster, where, oh god, what is this? This is, oh god, what is this?
Yeah, and just to recap the reason for that very briefly for anyone who didn't listen to the previous episode where we talked about it, basically whoever cut the trailer for this show today, I don't think they really watched it, because the trailer gave the impression that this was just a show about a brainless idiot beating on other brainless idiots in one big happy orgy of violence, and that is absolutely not what it is at all.
I mean, it's it's a part of it.
Right. Well, there is a great deal of violence, but there is a great deal of heart and soul. And,
yes.
Yeah, it's very much worth watching.
Indeed. So, going on into it, we shall begin. The first episode to introduce us to our main character, Haruka Sakura, voiced by the legendary Austin Tyndall, Ruth in Ancient Magus Bride, Marco Bolt in Attack on Titan. He's had a tough life, being considered abnormal for, he's got half white, half black hair. Appears to be natural, but, this is a thing in Japan in particular. If your hair's different, they freak out. Like, bleached hairs for punks. So I could see that. That makes sense where this is.
Compared to American society, Japanese society has a high degree of conformity. So, yeah, if you stick out because you want to, that's taken a certain way. And if you stick out because you don't want to, it is taken that same way, often with deleterious results, from what I understand.
Yes, and that seems to be what happened to this guy. And He's also a bit of a delinquent and a fighter, and that has also kind of got him those same results.
Yeah, I wonder
But
which came first, chicken or the egg.
I'm sure we'll find out. I have my theories. But meh. Regardless, he wants to go. He's heard that the best fighters are at Furin High School, and yeah, so as he's going into high school, that's where he decides to go because he wants to be the top of the fighters. So he watched that trailer. He goes, "Yeah, I want to fight everybody."
Indeed, and he found out that, well, true strength is not quite what he thought.
Wow,
So,
you're jumping way ahead.
fair enough.
You gotta slow it down there, buddy. He actually does move into the town, the area to go there because he doesn't live around Fruitin High. And as he does move in, he sees a young girl named Kotoha being harassed by some street punks. Well, if there's one thing that Sakura hates more than, well, anything really, it's people who are weak acting like they're tough. He doesn't really have an interest in weak people. He's not gonna go pick on the weak. But if you're an asshole and you're weak, yeah, he's gonna kick your ass. And he goes and kicks their ass, saving Kotoha, who gratefully takes him to her cafe for a meal. Apparently, the name is Cafe Pothos. I don't remember that being name dropped, but it was in stuff I was reading. So I'm like, oh, I didn't remember the name of that place. And he gets free food. And he's like, I'm gonna be the strongest guy at Furin High. And she's just like, uh-huh.
Yeah, she's like, "Aren't you cute?" Basically.
Pretty much. She kind of lets him know that his problems. He's alone. He doesn't really understand the furry kids, but he will when he gets there. But we do see that his tsundere attitude is just that because an old guy starts to leave and he's like, no, you forgot your stuff. This guy acts all tough, but he's not. He cares about people. He just doesn't want to admit it. Babaka.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's deeply emotionally damaged from his life heretofore.
Oh, I think that's incredibly well demonstrated by the show itself. Yes, I think that's a very good inference to take. But following this, he leaves and gets ready to go back to his first day at school. But yeah, on the way in, well, Kotoha's under attack again. And same punks. They're looking for Sakura because they want revenge on him. He did tell them not to forget his face or his name, so he kind of asked for that.
Yeah, they're not very bright.
No, he keeps fighting. He keeps fighting them. He does pretty good, but there are a lot of them, and he starts to get outnumbered. And when one of them brings out the knife and cuts his leg, he's kind of struggling after that. I do love his comments like, you're so weak, you need a knife. I'm like, I like this guy.
There's definitely it's not the same sort of story really, but I do, just from what I was brought up on, I get West Side Story flashbacks a
I
lot in this.
absolutely get West Side Story flashbacks from this. Similar kind of story. Not the same, but very similar. Well, thankfully, he does not have to fight alone because the other Furian high school students show up to help out. Turns out they're known in this town as the Abofurin, or Windbreaker. There's your title. They show up and beat the crap out of these guys, and they're grateful for Sakura for helping out when he could. But they're like, "You're injured. Stay back, dumbass." And yeah, as it turns out, the reason the Fruiting kids are so well known and so well loved is because they look out for their town. They protect it. Anyone who shows up and causes shit gets shit back, and these kids will beat the hell out of people who are doing bad. And Sakura doesn't really know what to make of this at first, especially when the villagers are trying to be nice to him. He is not used to people being nice to him, and he doesn't know how to react to it. it's, I think that's a big sign of your, PTSD there. I mean, he doesn't know how to handle it when people aren't mean to him.
Right. He's never been valued before, and as LK says, he doesn't know how to handle it.
So that's going on, but he does get the acceptance he desperately needed. And after the
Oh
punks have
goodness,
been
yes.
beaten to hell out, Kotoha kind of moves out. I don't think you meant to be like this. You kind of were forced to be like this, but you don't have to be here. And he's just like, wait, so you guys are punks and you're loved because you're heroes of justice. This is really what's going on. And you think he's about to verbally berate them for being stupid? He's like, that's so awesome! And he jump kicks one of them.
Yeah, he's whoever wrote this has spent a lot of time around teenage boys because they just nail the psychology of not just him, but everybody involved.
Absolutely. And that's episode 1, which I gotta say, goddamn. We said it when we watched it. It's a solid first episode. You couldn't ask for a better lead in. It's what got us going. I don't know about this too. Give it to us! Feed it into my veins!
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as without LK, I probably wouldn't bother watching it. Although I would certainly be recognizing this as a good show, but it's not really to my personal taste. But that doesn't make it bad.
It's not actually my normal thing, but it is done so well that I enjoy it regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not enjoying it in any way. It's just not something I would watch on my own. Is all.
I would not have watched it if we weren't doing this podcast. Straight up, it would have been one of the ones that I'm like, eh. And I'm
Right.
glad we're doing this podcast because otherwise we would have missed out
Well,
on a really fun
well,
show.
I was. Well, there's that. I was curious after seeing the trailer. I wanted to watch episode one just to see how bad of a train wreck it would be, and I was completely blown
And
away.
that's what I thought too. I thought, okay, let's see on this train wreck. I was thinking the same thing as you. And holy crap, it's so good. Continuing on, episode 2, we open up on Sakura eating his breakfast at the cafe because that's just what we do now. He meets fellow Furin High freshman Akihiko Nire, voiced by Bryson Vargas. Yu Izumi of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, main character. Love seeing him again. And I didn't realize this was the same guy, but also Mikhail of Case Study of Vanitas. Went from cute little kid to horrible monstrous kid to cute little kid. I'm sensing a theme here.
Well, he's got the right voice for it.
But yeah, Nire's really enthusiastic. Wants to prove that he can be a Bofurine too. He's a fanboy of Bofurine.
Oh yeah.
But he's not that strong himself yet. He's working on it from the looks of things, but he's not really there yet. This
Yeah.
annoys the shit out of Sakura, who's like, he looks tough, but he's not. Harumph, I say, harumph. I think
Yeah, it doesn't help that this is the type of fanboy that who literally has a notebook with details on all of the upperclassmen because he is a self-admitted terminal fanboy.
yeah, this is like Izuku Midoriya if he existed in this universe for the Hero Academia people. This is totally who this is.
Yeah, so
Um,
this is somebody who's coming at I'm not strong, I'm not heroic, I aspire to be that, and so I'm going to come here to learn from these people. That's where he's coming from, I think.
well, we also later learn why he cares so much, and we'll get into that when we get there. As much as Sakura is bitching about it, Kotoa says, hey, you might want to look things from a different perspective. For example, coffee beans are actually red before they're prepared with shirts and brown. Things aren't always what they seem. And I actually didn't know that. Embarrassingly. I knew about brown coffee beans. I did not know
Yeah.
they were red. I had
I
no idea.
think I feel like had heard that at some point in the past, but I had forgotten it.
It's an interesting comparison. I like
It
that
is.
choice. Of course, we continue on, and Sakura is being showered with admiration and gifts as he heads to school, this bothering him to a pretty big degree. But he is quickly approached by a townsfolk who's like, "Hey, help, help! We got people under attack." And of course, it's Mireille trying to keep these bullies away, but not really succeeding very well. He's holding them at bay, but only just. And he is not doing great. Sakura shows up, kicks their asses. Mireille blames himself for being too weak to handle this, and we find out why he's such a Wolverine fanboy. When he was younger, he was saved by a Wolverine.
This is the way.
And this made him want to pass it forward. Knowing this changes Sakura's opinion on the guy. He's trying to be stronger, and he's doing this because he wants to, pass it forward. I don't think he's going to admit it, but a friendship was formed in that moment. But Sakura be like, we're not friends or anything, Babaka.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of that. This guy is like a male tsundere, just right down the line, I swear. But when they get to class, Mr. Notebook is excited that they're all in the same class. The two of them are in the same class, and a lot of his heroes are there as well. So exciting! They're in class 1 all together, and the first of which they meet is Hayato Suo, voiced by another legend, Dallas Reed, Asa from Black Clover, and Yuri Breyer from Spy Family, amongst many, 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 many other amazing roles. Despite him teasing the characters and, threatening them to be like, you want to fight? You want to fight? Just kidding! This is probably my new favorite character, because...
Yeah, this guy is a master troll. He is my favorite character.
He's my
that
favorite
I've seen
character,
so far,
too.
by far. He's a master troll. I think his way of dealing with all the negativity that's involved with being a Bofreen is to just kind of be a little bit of a goofball, but he does absolutely have a serious side when needed.
Well, that seems to be a theme for a lot of these guys, as we'll discover,
Yeah.
I think.
I'm not going to get into to what happened, but my favorite moment of him is later in the series, and we'll get to this, but at one point, something like a snowball of problems has happened, and so they have to come back and report to people. And it's this big dramatic thing, and all this just, and then he caps it off by saying with an absolute cheerfulness. So that's how our day went.
Yeah, I didn't
And
remember
it's
that, so
just
there you go.
beautiful because it breaks the tension
Oh,
like
it
a
does.
glass rod. It's beautiful.
This character is amazing, and I'm so glad that Dallas Reed is voicing him, because he does it so well. Continuing along, we meet another new character. Because Sakura is telling everyone, I'm going to be the top. I don't care who's in charge now. I'm going to be the leader of this school. Mark my word, and a table gets thrown at him.
Yep.
And this, of course, would be from Kyotaro Sugishita, voiced by Orion Pitt. Daisuke Hiyama from Arifureta, and Raph from Freerun, the male elf we run into briefly, who's not too happy that the boss has been disrespected. You don't do that! I'm gonna throw a table at you if you do that.
Yeah, different species of fanboy here.
Yes. And that's how episode 2 ends. They love the cliffhangers in this, and it keeps us coming back, I'll say that.
Indeed. So, picking up with episode 3, our friend Nirei just starts freaking out because for all that he's aspirational, he is not used to violence. So he reacts like a normal human being.
He's like, I'm gonna go hide in the corner over here. He's kind of like...
and everyone else is just like looking on like, what's going on? And then our MC is just not, he does not seem bothered at all. He's like, what's your problem?
He's ready to fight. Let's fight. And they start fighting. That is until the school announcements go off from the Bofreen leader, Hajime Umemiya, voiced by Aaron Campbell.
Is this thing on?
Yeah. He's Stardust on Shy and a Bondman on Spy Family. He's also Red when banished from a Hero's Party. But yeah, this guy is a total loser. Like, is this thing on? Is it working? I don't know if it's working. I'm gonna go take care of my plants. Oh, hey, it's working. Okay. Hey guys. I hope you haven't gotten into any fights yet. I want you to have fun on your first day and help out the town. Hey, I'm gonna go do a thing. The Rogo, it's still on. Oh, it is.
Yep.
I love it. This is probably my second favorite character.
Yeah, this whole show is so well done.
I know. It's not just action. I mean, it's plenty of good action. It's also funny as hell when it wants to be. But yeah, he's that puts an end to the fight real fast, because fanboy over here is like, oh, I guess we shouldn't be fighting then because the boss is not to fight. And then the Lord of the Trolls is like, hey, why don't you guys shake hands?
Yeah, and I forget, do they actually do
They
it?
do, but it is the most reluctant handshake you've ever seen. They're like, yes, we are friends. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just they're very much kind of a all right, shut up, leave it alone. But following this, they are sent out to meet their class leader. Each of the classes, it turns out, has a specific leader, one of the four kings, as we are later described, which are all under Umamiya, who is considered the Bofurine representative. And for us, it is Toma Hiragi, voiced by Nick Huber, who's actually a relative newcomer. He has some voices on his credit, but I didn't really. I mean, he's Kane's subordinate in Witch and the Beast, Prison Hunters and Solo Leveling. The only named role he's got is Hayato Kito in Classroom of the Elite, which we have not seen. So, but he's got exactly. I named 3 of the 4 roles he has. So happy to see Crunchyroll bring in a new talent, and Hiragi's a fun character and voiced very, very well. So, welcome aboard to the anime train, Nick Huber. Hope to see you more. But
Indeed.
Hiragi is in charge of Class 1, as I mentioned, and someone tells him about Kotoha having been in danger and, been saved and everything. Hiragi's like, yeah, let's not talk about that because Umamiya will kick my ass and your ass and any ass he finds if he finds out that Kotoha hasn't been in danger. But let's not talk about that. Oh, God, my stomach hurts. I'm going to get some pills for that. Gascoon. Pills are called Gascoon.
Oh god, I
Okay.
didn't even notice that.
Gascoon.
I just noted they've got the mailbox trope going for him because, as it
Yeah.
turns out, this is somebody who it takes responsibility over seriously and stresses himself to death.
Yes, clearly. But yeah, he takes them out on their tour. Not sure what's going on. Sakura is like, who is this guy? What's going on? Nire tells him all about the hierarchy and tells him they are part of the Tamon team, which is Class 1A under Hiraki. And they go and patrol out, and they don't really see anything, so time to clean up that wow brain. Can we work? And they go out and clean up the graffiti around the town. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing for Sakura, who just wants to beat up some bad guys. Well, he won't be disappointed for long because they head towards the edge of town where there's this little tunnel. And he wants to go check it out, but he's stopped by Nirai's like, yeah, that's the edge of our territory. You go through there, you end up in Shushtoren territory. Those guys are ruthless and attack anyone. You might want to stay away. Well, that's all well and good until you see a middle schooler from our area running from Shushtoren in that area, trying to get through the tunnel. Hilariously, both Sakura and Kyotaru, who have just been done trying to fight each other and forced to shake hands, they immediately leap into action and kick the shit out of the Shushtoren thugs, saving the kid. Uh, poor Hiraki has got to take some more Gascoon because this is not good because now they're in Shushtoren territory. But they actually don't get into too much trouble as they save that kid because the number 2 of of Shushtoren appears. Joe Togama, voiced by Chris Guerrero, the rabbit boss guy in Shangri-La Frontier, which you have not seen, but
Nope.
I mean, you know who I is in Freerun. I think that's a
Oh yeah.
pretty reasonable reference there. Yeah, he shows up and he's just like, "Hey, it's all good. We're all chill here. Oh, good. We don't have to have a." And then he proceeds to beat the ever-loving crap out of the thug who lost because he lost. and takes his jacket off. Yeah, you lost. You get kicked out.
Yeah, this
Well,
guy is just completely. I'm trying to think of a word better than rancid in this whole. He is some other people on this other team. I'm not so sure about. This guy is bad, like
uh,
bad. He's a bad man.
I think I'm actually more concerned about the other one. This guy's not good though.
Yeah,
This guy's
him. I'm
definitely
not
not
sure
good.
if he's like fundamentally rotten or if he's just crazy, but and could be redeemed. But we'll see. Anyway, we'll talk about him in a minute.
And we will, we will. But at any rate, following that, they just like, okay, let's go get you and get you over to the boss. Take the middle schooler. They leave since there's no fight with Shishtora, and they just kind of leave. Take the middle schooler with them to go see Umamiya because yeah, this needs to be reported. And they go to Umamiya, who's kind of busy doing his thing. You know, we already got a sense that this guy's kind of a little weird. So where would you find him? Oh, he's tending to a garden. Yeah, that's episode 3. Already a solid go, and we've had fun with the rising threat of Shishtora in here. We've got a rival faction.
Yeah, it's a little. I would have spent another episode on contextualizing everybody, but that's just me.
I think we're fine. Like we're 3 episodes in here. We spent episode 1 on our main character and basic concept. Episode 2 kind of gave us the basic hierarchy of the Bofurin, and episode 3 is what gave us the threat. I think that's
Yeah, it
perfectly
just
reasonable.
feels like maybe it's just me, but it just feels like things are escalating very quickly. But that might just be me.
I think it's just you in this case because honestly, this felt very natural to me. We've established the characters, we've established the hero team. It's time to bring in the villains. I don't see how that's rushing. Because what else would you do between episode 2 and here? What else would you even do?
I would. Oh God. Um. Oh, my brain just shorted out.
No worries, man. It happens. Moving along to episode 4. Everyone was expecting Umamiya to get upset, but rather than beat someone up or get ranty, he well, at first he takes about 5 minutes to go, "Ah, my plants. My plants are so amazing. Don't you like my plants?" Oh,
Indeed.
yes, yes. I love this guy. He's funny. But he does seem to take a good pick of what's going on. It's like, all right, good job. He pats Sakura on the head for protecting the family. Seriously, this guy, I love him.
Yeah. Well, he's an actual leader.
Indeed. Of course, as things are starting to calm down, the leader of Shishitoran shows up. Choji Tomiyama, voiced by Derek Snow. Shinra Kusakabe of Fire Force. And Kozaburo Arase on Dead Mount Deathplay, one of the 2 crazy cops. And he's calling out for Umamiya for a fight. He's beating up on the Bofuri Mooks on the school as he comes in to do this. But why is he here? Is he looking for payback? No. Pretty boy is bored after becoming the best of Shishtoran, apparently. Throws up the entire school, as you expect. This is their home base. But Umamiya keeps him in bed. He decides to take on a surprisingly serious tone. He switched. It's like a switch got flipped, and now we know why. Everyone's like, he's gonna kick your ass. Yeah, he can be chill, but he can also be quite serious. I mean, Sakura even tries to interrupt it. And, he's just not having any of it, and even Sakura's like, shuts up real fast. But yeah, he wants a one-on-one fight. Of course, the rest of Shishtoran shows up right behind him.
Yeah, and this is what makes me wonder about him because before the others showed up, Umamiya was starting to actually talk some sense into him, or so it seemed.
I don't
And
think
then
so.
Mister Number Two, I don't know. We didn't have a chance to find out because then Number Two shows up and just shuts it down.
Well, number two doesn't
So,
say. Number two doesn't even really say anything to shut it
oh
down.
no 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 no, he definitely did, unless I'm totally misremembering.
I think you are because there was no being talked down. Uh, Tomiyama was like, "Fight me, fight me! Do we really fight me?" There was no backing down. He was just really excited for a fight. He wanted a one-on-one fight, but that never got contradicted by number two showing up. I think you are misremembering.
I think you just didn't absorb what was going on because it was very quick. So
I think you're overseeing
we'll
it.
have we'll have to go rewatch that bit later,
Sure. I mean, here's the thing: some people can see it your way, some people can see it mine. That's the fun of show watching.
I guess.
I mean, if there wasn't anything to talk about, we wouldn't be here, right?
You've had your fun. Let's call it even.
Huh? Oh. Yeah, good point. Is that really enough for him?
Now run along home before...
I want you, Umeme. For me? Things got pretty lonely and boring when I reached the top. Not for you, though. You're in charge and you've got nothing but fun and friends over here.
Understood. It's clear you've had it rough.
Watch it, big shot. Just what sort of crap are you trying to shove down our boss's throat?
As mentioned, the rest of Shishtoran shows up, and it looks like all hell's gonna break loose. But Umemiya managed to keep Bofrin at bay. It's like, hey, guys, no, I got this. Well, Tomiyama's like, yeah, I just want a one-on-one, and some of the other Shishtoran also want a one-on-one. And so a series of one-on-one matches have been decided upon. It's all
Basically,
now
we're
we
jumping
can say
straight into the tournament arc.
Now we can say we're rushing it because now we're jumping right into a tournament arc. Yeah, no, now I agree. Now it's a bit
Okay,
fast.
I see what you mean.
Now it's a bit. Hey, really? Already? Okay.
Yeah. So I guess this kind of colored my perception of things prior.
Yeah, like the previous episode, it's just bad guy appears. So we learn about the bad guys. They do bad guy things, and then they leave. That's not that bad. Jumping straight into, we're gonna have some fights. Okay. Interesting. I'm willing to see where it goes, and I'm not really complaining exactly. It's not like it felt bad. It's just looking at it, yeah, that is a bit fast.
I think they're foregoing more of a meta plot in favor of more character drama, so it definitely has a bit of a WWE vibe to it, which is fine.
Which is fine. I mean, that matches what they're going for. And hey, I love my character drama, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of an unusual approach.
Now, here's where things get interesting. As they are getting ready to fight up, Tomiyama's like, yeah, I want to have these fights, but not right now. The sun's going down. I want to see when you all get beat to hell. See you tomorrow. Bye. This guy is creepy.
Certainly bonkers.
Yes. So, following this, the both meet up at Kotoha's cafe. Nirei is freaking out because, this is about a bunch of fights about to happen.
Right. I don't think he was called out, right?
Who? Nirei? No.
Right. Because he would, at least at the level of people that we're dealing with here, it's like the top 5 and the top 5.
Pretty much. But when Umemiya arrives, it becomes pretty clear that he is Kotoha's simp.
Well, I mean, all the boys are to one extent,
not to
whether
this
they'll admit
extent.
it or not.
Not like this. He's really going, oh yeah, Kotoha.
She has a bit of a big sister complex thing going on towards like everyone at the school.
Well, just you're cutting me off way too early. We actually learned it's not just the big sister complex in this case. They grew up together in the same group house, and she basically is his big sister. Not literally, but may as well be.
Right. What I meant is she seems to extend it to everybody.
I know you're saying that, but this is a little bit more. This also explains why we were told that, Umemiya cannot know about her being in danger. He's going to get pissed. Yeah, now I see it. Now I totally see it. For a while, I'm like, this guy's pretty chill. I think he'd be fun. Oh, he could be serious. Oh, he really cares about her. Oh, shit, I see it now.
I just got earlier I just assumed that she was also I thought she was a lot older than she is.
Yeah,
like
she's
our
actually
main character.
she's the same age as our main character.
Yeah, which the fact that she's owning and operating her own business, this whole area seems almost like an area that it's really, shut up, don't worry about it. But if you were trying to be logical about it, it seems like this whole area is basically ignored by the authorities.
Probably is.
So it's not. It's about as close to. It's a slum in the Japanese sense, which not what
Yes.
we would think of in America.
No, it's not what you think of America, but it's a town that pretty much. Let me put it this way: they're relying on the students of the high school to keep them safe. There's no real police present. That should tell you all you need to know.
Right, where it's Japanese police, contrary to what you might think, they don't fuck around. So the
Well,
fact that they're not keeping a lid on this place says to me that well, A, it's convenient for the story, and B, that nobody cares about this place.
there are stories like this that happen in Japan. It's a real thing that can happen.
Okay.
Not common, of course, but
Fair enough.
we also learn, and this is why I don't think it's Mr. Sunglasses that's the problem. Fighting Shishtoran didn't used to be like this. It used to be almost like a competitive sport from the way they were talking about it. But ever since Tomomiya took it over, they've been deliberately picking fights forcefully. This is new.
Okay, I do see what you mean now.
Yeah, I was waiting to get there to talk about it. I'm like, hold that thought, because no. He's a changing force. He changed Shishtoran. Not like they were best friends before, but it was more like they were rivals.
Yeah, it was the Sharks and the what was it? In West Side Story, I don't even remember. It's been so long, but
I couldn't tell you. But yeah, that's quite a bit of context there, and I believe it because this guy is crazy, but he's more than crazy. I think he's kind of not in the demon sense, but this guy's diabolical. I mean, he wants to fight them in the daytime so he can watch them, suffer. That's more than just crazy. It is crazy, but there's more.
Somebody who has no life and way too much power, and consequently has gotten sick in the head. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, he got bored because he got in charge of the pile, and now he wants to fight some more. Yeah, clearly there's something there. But the next day comes, and they're gonna go have a talk with them. Of course, that means a fight. And the episode ends with Bolfreen entering into Shishtoran territory through that tunnel. And that's where the dub has left off. If you're a sub-watcher, you got 2 whole episodes, and you're like, yeah, you guys are behind. Yeah, we are. So what? We're watching an amazing dub. Get over it.
Yep. So now, if they wanted to, we'll see what they do. If they wanted to, I think each of these 5 upcoming fights could be its own episode, given what's going on.
I think so, although I don't think
yeah.
it will be because it's a 12-episode series.
Oh, really? Okay.
And
So,
we're
yeah,
already
probably
a third through it, so probably 4 episodes
yeah.
for it.
My guess would be either 2-2-1 or 3-1-1.
Could be. It depends on how much they want to adapt. Because from what I have heard, this was a manga. So.
Oh.
But yeah, any overall thoughts, opinions, and all that? Because that's our episodes.
It's a very good coming of age story so far.
I agree. So
I mean, when you break it down, coming of age is all about finding your place in the world, and that's what our MC is doing, and everybody else, really, I suppose.
yeah, I think it's very interesting how it is ramping it up. Fairly logically, like, yeah, we're going on a tournament. It's not really a tournament. It's each of us are having our own one-off fights, and one of them tended to be a personal grudge from the past that we don't know about. It seems to be serving to grow our characters, and the fact that we have this many characters and they're all fairly identifiable. At first, they haven't been, but they have spent time. Obviously, we know who Haruka Sakura is. He's our main character. Best Bro Akihiro Nire is the fanboy. We've gotten to know him. Kyotaro Sugishita, big strong guy who totally idolizes the boss. We've got our trolling master in Hayata Suo. We've got the big boss in Hajime Umemiya. Our class boss in Toma Hiragi. they kind of all slide into place, you know?
Yeah, they're all, I'm sure we could find a TV tropes article that pretty much matches up with each one of them, but they're also distinct.
Yeah, I mean, even with our bad guys, Tomiyama, dude looks like a freaking child. I wanted to call him a twink, but he's too young to be a twink. But he looks like a
Did
grade
we get an
schooler.
age for him?
I mean, they're all in high school.
Right. So he probably just either he's a middle schooler and just that badass, or he just looks young, which some people do.
Some people do, and that is the thing. And then of course the guy that really rubbed you the wrong way, Togame, Mr. Sunglasses. I'm chill except for when I'm not.
Yeah, well, he's in addition to being more than a little crazy, he strikes me as the scheming type, which is far more dangerous than just the rabid dog type.
I would call Tomiyama the scheming type. I mean, this whole thing was his idea. Togame is actually was like, dude, why are you doing this? Togame strikes me as I'm strong and I hang out with the strong, and if you're not strong, I kick you out. I didn't really get scheming vibes from him. I got the rules are the rules vibes from him.
We'll see. I just get very bad mojo off of him.
I mean,
We'll
I
see
get
if
very
I'm
bad.
right.
I get very bad mojo off of both of them, but I definitely get worse off of Tomiyama personally. But there you go. I mean, good villains here. They managed to strike that strong of a reaction. I love our characters, every single one of them, for everything they bring to the table. I mean, I've been calling Sakura a Tsundere, but it works.
Hmm.
It works very well. Nire is a great info
Oh, he
dumper.
absolutely is. It's a combination of that plus, being a teenage boy who, we were all kind of like that at that age.
Not everybody. I wasn't quite like that. I can tell you that.
Hmm.
I knew people like that though. They certainly exist.
All
I was
right.
I was more of an array.
Hmm.
That was more me.
Yeah, I was the know-it-all. Um, Completely, this is before people actually explained to me. Anyway, that's my journey into socialization is a topic for another time.
Well, we're both afflicted with the incurable situation of autism.
Right.
So socialization was difficult for both of us, but that's what makes to me watching these guys, struggle with it and grow with it worthwhile. I can root for them because I get it. It's tough.
Oh yeah. No matter what your neuroarchitecture,
Oh yeah,
teenage
no,
years are tough
it's tough
because you
no
have to
matter
figure
what.
out who the hell you are.
I was only pointing that out because I'm like some context for some people, but
Mhm.
also, it's both of us, and for both of us, it was difficult and more than a normal person, as it were. But that's probably more hard for these guys than normal people too, because they're in extreme situations. So I can kind of relate.
Oh, yeah.
So on that front, you don't have to be a punk. You're just someone who struggled for any number of reasons. It doesn't have to be being a punk. It doesn't have to be autism. It could be any number of things. All of us have something, and a lot of people have something that is extra. And I would say a lot of the people who are drawn to anime could definitely relate to these characters in one way or another, I think. We tend to be of a certain type, we anime viewers.
Indeed.
Not everybody. Not everybody. But I think that's about all I got for Windbreaker. How about you?
Yeah, I would just say that this is sort of a different thing, but it strikes me a lot as similar to the stories I hear occasionally of people who found a purpose in this case joining the military, actually, believe it or not.
No, I
And
get the
that,
same vibe. I do.
yeah, so it's very much that sort of
Joining the
story.
military, joining the police. You know,
Yeah, because of the overtones of violence, but really it's, I thought I had no talents and no worth, and it turns out I really do. I just was in the wrong place. It's one of those sort of stories.
well, there's always a place for a protector. Being
Hmm.
strong does have value. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, any skill set does. Even if you think you don't have any, you just haven't found them yet, is the point.
Indeed. And that's another thing I think we can all relate to. And I think that's the strength of Windbreaker. There's something to relate to no matter who you are. So, I think that about does it for Windbreaker.
Indeed. So before we close, I'd like to thank very much Cyberdyne Systems for sponsoring this episode of the Simuldub Saints. As we all know, Cyberdyne continues to be at the forefront of the AI revolution. Their advances in autonomous adaptive systems are sure to make the world a better place for everyone. Now, this particular publicity campaign, it says here, is to announce that Cyberdyne and the North American Aerospace Defense Command, also known as NORAD, have just partnered up to create a brand new system that will bring total security to the American homeland. Now, when we say security, we mean regarding nukes and stuff like that. We're not talking about catching terrorists. But I, for one, will sleep better tonight, knowing that this super advanced network will be guarding the sky above me.
A network of the sky, you might say.
Yeah, like a sky network. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
something
Anyway,
like that.
yeah, marketing will come up with something cool. Anyway,
Yeah, absolutely. I hear the T1 satellite is getting ready to be released.
yep, I think it's in Florida, ready to launch. Yep.
All right, cool.
Yeah, or did they? Oh no, wait, they're having SpaceX launch it. I think. Yeah, they're subcontracting everything these days.
Oh my god. Okay. SpaceX
God.
would launch freaking Skynet, I swear to God.
I think NASA, for serious, like NASA, how much of their launches do they subcontract out these days?
Oh,
Anyway,
Lord. I don't even know. So, Ark, where can the people find you?
if you really need me for some reason, contact LK. I do not do social media.
So you're telling me you finally left Oscar the Grouch's trash can?
But no, no, I'm still under the rock.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
There's a flashback.
Of course, you can reach either of us through the Simuldub Saints Twitter account. And as for me, you can reach me on Twitter at LaserKidPrime. You can also reach me on Blue Sky at LaserKid. I'm very rare over there, but you can. You can also find me frequently on the Toonami Faithful podcast, where I talk about Toonami with wonderful, wonderful people over at Toonami Faithful, including guest hosts we've had over here, Sketch and Kuro. You can also find me when it actually happens on the Demon Slayer podcast frequently, as Veelord likes to have me on over there. One of these days we'll get him on over here. We also have a Simuldub Saints Facebook group. That's out there. So reach out. Let us know what you think. We'd love to get your feedback. We've had higher and lower viewed episodes, but I'm very appreciative of all of you that have been listening to us. So thanks for keep listening. You keep listening. We'll keep at it. Hopefully we get better as we go.
Indeed.
So that about does it for Simuldub Saints. So until next time.